Oh, I had no idea. I didn't know that my microphone was off. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I was going. Oh man. Damn. Oh, that was, damn it. Okay. All right. I'm going to cut this part out when I do my editing. Okay. Let me start over again. Politics with Laura. Okay. Fani Willis and Marilyn Mosby are the opposite side of the same coin as you see my title, and they are extremely different. Fani Willis was able to secure the Democratic primary. I don't know how that happened. Truly, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I will say this to my Black American family. Check this out. America's my family, but specifically for Black Americans, look, you be the first one to get rid of your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You don't care if you have children with them or not. Boom, you leave like that. It ain't working. Sayonara, c'est la vie. See come some, whatever. Adios. You're gone. But when it comes to politicians and they treat you bad, and they use and lie to you. They go to the church, historically Black church, and sit there and say, oh, Black man this, Black man that. I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and come back, what, a couple of weeks later and say, okay, I did it. Don't apologize, nothing. Not nothing, nothing. Okay? Then, to add insult to injury, you take the money that was for task force to keep young people from getting into gangs, gang prevention. Did you do that? Nah. But you take the money, you give it to your boyfriend, and you give him money that he did not earn. You pay him more money. You paid him more money than President Biden makes. I mean, I'm going to leave it right there. Now, you have Marilyn Mosby on the opposite side of the coin, who decided to put Baltimore first. And she started going after dirty cops, and did. Remember Freddie Gray? We're going to get into that in a little bit. Now, Democrats came out of everywhere, not everywhere, everywhere to attack her. It was dog eat dog. I'm not calling anyone a dog. I'm just saying the actions were doggish like. And stripped her down to zero. Now, her husband, Mr. Mosby, you some dirt. You are raggedy dirt. On a city council member, I hope they tar and feather you and kick you into the river. But that's my thought. That's my thought. I'm going to leave it right there. Oh, my goodness. Let's go ahead and get to it. All right, let's start off with Fani Willis. Now, let me change this real quick. All right, Fani Willis. All right, this is Marilyn Mosby right here, and this is Fani Willis. We all know who Fani Willis is, and we all know her for all the wrong reasons. She put Fulton County on the map, but not for anything good, for something embarrassing. Embarrassing, okay? Now, here, Marilyn Mosby, not many people know her or know who she is, unless if you're in Baltimore or in a DMV area, then you would know who she is. But she is not making the news that she should, because she put Baltimore first. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, Fani Willis, we know that she's a DA of Fulton County, Georgia. We all know who she is. And this right here is her man or ex, maybe still together, I don't know. Who knows? But there's a possibility. Now, the one who came out of this smelling like a rose, damn, is him. It's him. This is the first time he did this. This is not the first time he did this. Sonia Allen was before Fani Willis. He was getting paid $500 an hour to check out the red rums in the jails in Cobb County, Georgia. Yeah. It's quite interesting that he worked there for a year and a half, collected all that money, and never came up with a report, because his report was right here. Now, those of you who are teachers, especially on the high school level, you're going to get those students who don't study, don't want to take notes, but say, yeah, I got the information right here. That's what he did. Oh, everything is right here. Well, could you put it on paper? It's right here. Well, I can't file what's right here, but it's right here, and I'm not giving back no damn money. That's what he did. All right, now, all the money that went towards gang prevention, you got a gang problem right here. All that money that came from the Judiciary Committee, yeah, Fani. Representative Jim Jordan wants to know where all that money at, because it didn't go where it's supposed to go. These people here. And gangs, all colors. All colors. Look, gangs don't require a color. It just requires a body and someone silly enough to do it. Here. All right. And so basically, Fani Willis and her guy, her man, were going on lavish vacations as a business expense, as she was paying him. Yeah. All right, Marilyn Mosby. Now, I'm going to spend a little extra time on Marilyn Mosby. I am. Because we need to really, really, really understand the lengths that she has gone through in order to. My heart goes out to her. It really does. Because the Democrats did her dirty. And I'm saying the Democrats. Now, before I get here, Elijah Cummings. Elijah Cummings was the representative of Baltimore for a very, very long time. I think about 30 years. And under his tutelage, the Baltimore County and other counties that he represented, Baltimore, how can I say, was left to decay. It was. However, he wielded a lot of power. He had a lot. He put a lot into the game. He did all those things Elijah Cummings did for Marilyn Mosby. Now, he protected her during the Freddie Gray riots. And I'm calling it the Freddie Gray riots, the riots that happened in Baltimore back in 2015, 2016, when Freddie Gray, and what is beyond me is how there are people who saying, well, you know, Freddie Gray, he was a criminal and he shouldn't even, you know, no one should have protested. Well, you know, he's a human being. And just because the man had, and that's not Freddie Gray right there. No. Freddie Gray was on a bike and two police officers roughed him up. And I'm not sure, some time had gone past, but Freddie Gray was roughed up in front of everybody. And he was put in a paddy wagon and he was not properly secure, to where they gave him a rough ride and he broke his back and I think up to his neck. And later on, he passed away. Now, the police officers got away with it and everyone went berserk, as they should. And keep this in mind, people, keep this in mind. This is something that people sort of forget. What you allow to happen to one community, it will eventually happen to you. And when it happens to you, there's going to be no one there to fight for you, to scream out for you. You're not going to get any of that because you didn't put anything into it. You just didn't do it because it wasn't you. It wasn't anybody in your family, anybody in your community. No, it doesn't pertain to you until it does. And now it is. So the Baltimore riots, Marilyn Mosby, Elijah Cummings, him right here, he helped her. He kept her politically sound. He kept the vultures from going after her. Now, when the upheaval, she went after the police officers that were in it. These are the police officers. Now, people have to understand when you're talking about white police officers committing crimes, oh, they're racist. They're racist. They're all racist. Well, you have to understand, it's the blue wall. Now, whatever goes on within the blue wall is there. But when they are out, they all protect each other. And that's why dirty cops are allowed to fester, to flourish into. Marilyn Mosby was stopping that. There's a lot of corruption going on in Baltimore. I'm not saying there wasn't. There was, just like in Fulton County and Fani. And Fani is, how can I say, the one that is allegedly, possibly, simply, maybe corrupt. She just got in there and bam, went straight to possibly misappropriating funds that should have gone towards the gang unit, but it went towards her man and all these other lavish vacations she went out on, and him and her paying him back, all that. Okay, whatever. However, these people here, I call them the Brady Bunch family of. I'm not laughing. This is the Brady Bunch family. Just look at them. They all have one look. I did it. Whether they drove the car or the police van or whatever. Now, a couple still didn't get charged with anything. They were allowed to get off. But, you know, hey, blue shield. And again, Elijah Cummings, this guy here, kept Marilyn Mosby, keeping the people from attacking her. And when I say the people, I mean the people above her, politicians who wanted her gone, because she had a list. Oh, did I put that list up? She had a list of dirty cops that she would not allow to testify. She was trying to get rid of them. And no, I didn't put it up. Doggone it. She had a list of them that she would allow them to testify or anything, because she was removing the dirty cops, getting rid of them. That's what Marilyn Mosby was doing. But when this happened, the dirty cops here, Baltimore police officer, how can I say, terminated the day before testifying against fellow cops, was used in a scheme to plant, prosecutors say. Now, Marilyn Mosby was trying to get rid of these police officers, and she did not properly protect that police officer. That police officer passed a day before testifying, but I have to say, great. It was great that they were able to still prosecute the police officers and put them in jail. Unfortunately, he lost his life. He lost his life, and it's a horrible shame that happened. Horrible shame. Oh, okay. All right, let me take that down. Now, within that, you can see that there's a vast difference between Fani Willis and Marilyn Mosby. Now, Fani Willis allegedly was breaking up a relationship. Marilyn Mosby, her husband did some, well, ex-husband now did some dirty, dirty stuff. Now, Marilyn Mosby, they tried to get her on taxes, and they couldn't get her on that because she paid her taxes. She did everything that she was supposed to do. Then they tried to get her on election fraud, and they found out that there was no fraud. She was duly elected by the people of Baltimore. Then they went after her on the 19 relief. They're like, wait a minute, you make $200,000 a year. Why are you doing? Do you know how much it costs to live in Maryland, in Baltimore County? In Baltimore. It's like living in DC. It's expensive. She went in to her retirement to take money out, and many people do this because she was trying to clean up Baltimore. Okay. You're not supposed to clean up inner cities. You're supposed to let them be crime-ridden, dysfunctional schools, dysfunctional government. You're supposed to have these things so you can say, well, okay, it may be bad in a rural area, but it's not like that. There has to be some kind of division to where people can say, well, at least we're not like that. Instead of saying, well, we got to clean our area up too. And that needs to be cleaned up too. Continuously with the division. Marilyn Mosby was like, I was born and raised here. I see the crime. I see the corruption. I can't even find police officers that have not been corrupted or dirty or how can I say compromised in order to testify against people that actually did these crimes. We need to put people that are real criminals in jail. Then she started looking and noticing that there were some people who were set up and placed behind bars by the police. Because of that, she started to release the people that were innocent, as in Fani Willis. People been there in jail for 5 years and never even have gone in front of the judge. Fani Willis has no problem with that. Marilyn Mosby has a problem. She did it and she paid dearly. So much so that as she was defending herself, there was a word put out there. And don't believe me, look this up. She couldn't even get any reputable law firm to help her. They all said, if you touch the case, you're going down. She had to get a public defender, a DA, the top person in Baltimore, could not get any law firm to help her. She had to rely on the public defender's office. Now, she was convicted on paperwork. She could have done 30 years in jail, but they gave her 1 year house arrest. After when her husband, Mr. Mosby, you're dirty, was taking money out of the account, of their joint account, taking money out, and it made it look like that she was doing it. She took money out to buy homes in Florida. And she was going to, at some point, turn it into, I believe it was a rental property. Now, people do it all the time. They go in, they take money out, whether if it's a pandemic or not, they take money out and they buy property, and then to allow people to live in it to generate additional income. People do it. dare I say, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she has a bunch of stocks, and all of a sudden she takes her money out and says, okay, we can't do any more stocks, Congress. No more. We can't do it. It's okay for them. It's okay for them to do all that stuff. But Marilyn Mosby, she does what everyone else does, and then she tries to really clean up the city, and all of a sudden it's a problem. They're the two women, the opposite side of the same coin. What are your thoughts? I mean, I think it's completely outrageous. I think it is completely outrageous for that to even happen. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit, this strictly to Black folks. Okay, Black folks, I gotta, oh man, this really has to stop. For Fani Willis to win the Democratic primary, I mean, what else does she need to do? What else? Just because you're black, she black, we black, they black, we black, she's black, to vote for her? Is that it? Is it okay? Is that the only qualification because she's black? Is that it? Not because she puts Fulton County first, not because she uses the money to where it was earmarked for in order to use to help the youth, to keep them out of gangs. That's not a requirement? Is it not a requirement that she is not? If you have watched the Young Thug court case, you would throw your hands up and say, how did this even happen? They got the man on RICO charges, and I don't know, maybe she was up late playing Minecraft. I don't know. Assistant DA, what's her name? Adams? I don't remember her last name. And then she was to argue with the judge. She was to bring in evidence late. I mean, this stuff is ridiculous because they brought the charges onto him and she's not even ready. You can't make it up. But that is under Fani Willis's office. She's not even trying to make things right. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You said hardship withdrawal applies to foreclosures, not to purchase homes. Okay. But okay. And she did do that. She did apply for hardship. And she did apply, she did a, what do you call it? Purchase a home or two down in Florida. She did do that. Yes, she did. And now my thought is this, as far as her husband, he did some additional things. And I don't know if I have to look into this. I can't make a statement because I don't want to say anything liable. But he did some things. And I'm going to leave it as things because I can't confirm or deny anything. So I'm going to leave it right there. But Fani Willis, she takes money out of her 401k. She says it herself. She took $50,000 out and she put that money towards her campaign. She told IRS that she only had $13,000, she only paid taxes on $14,000, not the $50,000. I'm just looking at Fani Willis and I'm shaking my head because I think it's beyond ridiculous. And I think I don't want to say anything ridiculous about voters voting for whom they believe is the right person. But if this person is blatantly in your face saying, Ashley Merchant, you're a racist. You're a racist. I mean, it is ridiculous. Calling this woman and her husband racist when she was trying to defend her client based on what Fani Willis to defend her client Michael Roman for election campaign fraud when that wasn't it. And she just happens to find that Nathan Wade is filing for a divorce, and he has all these things that are sealed. Why would he need anything sealed? And then she was able to uncover that there was a lot going on between him and Fani. She made these connections. The racist. You find all this fraud. You find all the money that Nathan was paid. He got paid more than, he was getting paid $35,000 a month. I mean, and when you look at the invoice, it wasn't even a proper invoice. And you see the fraud. It's quite blatant, but they have to prove it. They just can't just say it. They had to prove it. And they did prove it. And I'm sorry, they are proving it. Now, back to Marilyn Mosby. She did try to run for re-election and lost. And rightfully so. I mean, she had all that bad press getting sued left and right. And she lost her seat. She lost everything. Maybe I'm a bit more sympathetic to Marilyn Mosby because she was doing right by Baltimore to the best of her ability. And yeah, she had the protection of Elijah Cummings. Yeah, that right there is true. Elijah Cummings was a very powerful representative in the Congress. Very powerful. He was a senior level. But but when you compare them both, and when Marilyn Mosby walks on a white carpet, yes, there are brown spots on the carpet. She doesn't walk on water. No, she doesn't. But what are your thoughts on that? Marilyn Mosby took out hardship withdrawals that applied to foreclosures. I have to take a look at that. I got to really take a look at that because the newspapers, I'm pretty sure that they covered it and showed pictures of it. I'm pretty sure they did. But I have to look at that if that was hardship withdrawals. Now, I knew that she took out money from a 401k. And I knew it was from the COVID, as many people have done. She's not the only one. And she's not the only one public official that did it. Not the only one. But she had a target on her back. Now, if she would have turned a blind eye, let the corruption continue, let the dirty police officers run amok and not do anything, who knows? Who knows? She may not even be going through this. Who knows? But on that note, please like, subscribe. That is for free. Like and subscribe. Now, if you want to jump out the window, please donate to me. Politics with Laura, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Everything helps to help me get better equipment. Everything. And share it. Share it. On that note, I want to most definitely thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for stopping by. Because you could be anywhere, which you are, and you could be doing anything, which you are doing, but you're here with me.